Welcome to our feature film presentation of Archer's War. It's an action genre film designed for independent fist-fighting arena style. It has a very gritty look, a bit dark, very menacing. Also a little bit comic book. The characters are cliche genre driven from a collective of action films over the last 30 years, given that films such as Kill Bill's, Pulp Fiction, Dirty Harry, Mad Max, Fight Club, any of the sort of 70s Wanderers action films you can remember. But the main purpose of the film is to design it commercially, so it's viable for your interest to take on board the film and make what you wish out of it. It's a concept, but it has the options of funding we're seeking. There are three options, those being: one, we'd like completion funding, which means we've shot over half of the film, the last half of the film, in the full fight arena and all the action pieces. There are still some smaller action pieces, but this sequence was the biggest and easiest for us to do in the one location. For 10 days we shot in a gym, and we coordinated, coached and choreographed all the fight sequences to suit. Now of course, naturally, there's a lot more of the film that interjects into the fighting sequences as well. In between there's drama scenes and character setup scenes to move the story along. What we'd like to do is complete that film. Now we can complete it as it is, so what you see in the preview can be improved and enhanced onto the final product, but of course incorporating the rest of the film. The second part is reshooting the whole film of what we've already done, plus what we need to do to finish it. And that just means we can either recast, bring up the caliber of photography and bring up the crew quality, so we have a lot more access to a lot more equipment and abilities to do that for you. Then the third option is distribution intention, which means if you're interested in the premise of this film and you can see validity when it's finished, we'd ask you to give us an intention of distribution, which will allow us to get private funding or approach Screen Australia for further funding. So these elements are what we seek your help with, and we hope that you see in our film project the work that we've put in. We've got in the cast and crew over probably 50 years of experience, given John Fox, Rick Tonner's fight choreography, Axel, myself, a lot of the other team members who at the top of my head can't recall, but they are involved, and our post-production elements as well have been strategically designed to enhance the film. You will hear from Reg in this preview clip. Also, the film that I'm showing you, the pieces of the film I'm showing you, are only snippets, and they're not fully finalized. They're not fully graded or rendered or ADR'd or sound designed. So naturally there's still more work to do, but we thought we could introduce the concept to you to start discussions, so we know when we're working on our post-production requirements we're getting it right for you. We do ask you to consider this film highly, as it's probably the only action film Australia will probably produce in the last 15 years, and it's good that Australia can produce this sort of film, mainly because of the genre being very strong. Most action films, regardless of names or entities or quality, usually will return a good revenue, and the elements of this film are enticing, designed for the 18 to 35-year-old market, plus also the nostalgic genre film goers who enjoy and remember those early 80s and 70s style action films. China does it, America does it, even England does it really well, but for some reason Australia hasn't really produced action films in the last 30 years. But having said that, the action films that Australia has produced in the last 30 years have made more revenue than most of every other Australian film in the comedy drama genre that Australia has produced. So action is a very strong genre, and we believe that we can create a product that you can take to the market and sell very well. Also, in the interviews that you're going to see with our cast and crew, they were shot by a very enthusiastic student, but not very experienced, so I apologise for some of the quality of that. Don't worry, it doesn't reflect on our film. Our film is shot to the highest quality, and having said that, it can also be shot at 4K, which brings it up again for you. But first, our intention is to enter into conversations. We'd like to talk to you more about what you want to achieve and what you see in our project as a concept, and of course help us with funding.
Archer's War, the fight sequences, we shot 3 and 4 angles, very much in the style of Hong Kong action films. So the motion and the blocking matches each angle, so it gives a beautiful choice for the editor, a very generous choice in that he can pick the right angle for the right split second and rather than doing 4 or 5 takes, which is nearly impossible to do this type of film in a single camera operation. So for that reason, I think it just sings. Also, the beauty of the 4 and 5 is if something you didn't expect happened, you've got that, and if you never get that again, well, you don't have that problem with a 4 camera shoot. So yeah, I was just eager to try that. We don't, in Australia in particular, we don't often shoot multi-camera because the type of films we make is single setup and reverse angle and then cutaways and things like that. So yeah, it's very unusual for an Australian film. It's a film that'll work anywhere. Like you can say it was set in Canada, nobody would challenge it. You can say it was set in Europe, no one would think either different. So that was the other thing. It's not like just an Australian film, because I've worked on a lot of Australian films that just suit this local market. No one else would understand it. This is something that works anywhere.
Hello, I'm Hayley Luxa-Idak. I was one of the cinematographers on Archer's War. I graduated from Deakin University 2 years ago with a double bachelor degree in film and photography. Straight after I graduated, I docked another action feature called Revenge of the Guilo. I also filmed a documentary in India, and since then I've been doing lots of other corporate work with my dad, who introduced me to filmmaking. He's also a cinematographer. He does grips and cameras and everything to do with that, so he got me into the career of filmmaking and also introduced me to Archer's War, which I decided to come on board to because mainly the story, it's very original and there's lots of action, but also has a really good balance of drama, and I really enjoy like the twists and turns in the story. I was mainly excited to work on the film because of the crew, a couple of actors I've already worked with in the past on many other films, and also to have such awesome gear. We also worked with 3 cameras, which is awesome, and I'd really be excited to see it turn into a feature because it will make a really good film.
Hi, I'm Reg Mowat. I run a little business called Those Voiceover Guys. We do post-audio production, we do voiceovers, and we've ventured into some small films in the past. This is our first step into feature film territory, and really excited to be involved in Archer's War. It seems like an exciting little Aussie project, and our role is essentially audio post. We'll be doing some ADR recording, making sure everything's all tickety-boo and crunchy, and those punches sound punchable, and the beatings sound genuinely painful, which is something we're all terribly excited about, bringing a level of pain and action to the big screen that hasn't been seen before.
Enjoy our showing. You'll meet some of the cast and crew in the interviews, as I said, and see some of the behind-the-scenes footage of how hard we worked. And getting 30 people together to do this out of a belief that you will see some value and take it on board is really what this is all about. We believe that we can design a product that's sellable, and Australia deserves, I think, to have an action film genre back into the market, and we are open to your conversation, and we welcome any of your input and discussion. Yeah, so thank you for your time, thank you for watching and considering, and I look forward to talking to you very soon. Thank you. Just to let you guys know more, so the actors will know this terminology, but there's some words that will be done, and one of the phrases you'll hear is hot set. That means that a particular area of the gym will be shooting in, which means that if you're in that area, you'll probably be in camera, okay, for you guys, just to let you know. With the fighting, you are, I guess it's an ensemble film, so even though we're shooting in the ring, there'll be fights in the ring and you'll all have your turns, you'll still be in camera background effects. I'll pick you out and put you into different places, keeping you training. I want you to work with Rick Tonner. He's our fight choreographer. Now you do have allocated times before your fight, so you'll do the rehearsal for 3 or 4 hours before the fight, then you'll come into the ring and do your actual filming of that fight. During the time though, even though your fight maybe not till Wednesday or Thursday, still try to work with Rick even earlier. The more prepped you guys are, it also keeps you a little busy, okay? So just keep yourselves more prepped. It'll look better for you guys in the film. and Rick will be available to you. He'll focus on probably the fighters that are most predominant next in the ring, but he'll still be available to give you guys a bit of a walkthrough with some of your other stuff. It's going to be a long week, 8 days, and it's going to be tiring, so I apologise in advance if any of my time gets if I get a bit short with some of the things and moments, but there's a lot going on in my head. Working with makeup, we'll put you in there, they'll come out, so forth, they'll be on the ring doing your makeup with blood, bruises and effects. So work with the girls as quickly as you can and just be available to them as well. Natasha the same, it looks great. Abby, Jake, Doc, Tom, everybody. So welcome to our film and thank you for your patience and your efforts and your support in the last few months of getting this organised. But basically, let's get started and make a kick-ass movie.
Our lovely call sheet for the day. Excitement.
For the day.
For the day. This is for the day, people. This is one day. What we got to deal with. Look at that. My character in the movie is a nasty piece of work named Mr. Traxler. He pretty much runs the whole show, the crime empire that he has built, and it's all centered around the world of fighting, cage fighting, illegal cage fighting as we call it, and it's pretty nasty and brutal. Rules the empire basically with his fists. So tough guy. But yeah, very good story. Very good driven characters. Fantastic.
This is a fight movie. There's no doubt about that. It's a fight movie, but we are using real fighters. And as most people would know, fighters are not actors, the same as actors are not fighters. We're going to bring these fighters to the camera in a way that hasn't been done before. So hopefully you'll see very raw grittiness of the fight sequences rather than a choreographed actor trying to fight. So I hope you notice that. The other thing we're doing with this film is we're not going to pre-promote this film. We're not going to put any pictures on Facebook or other social media, and we want to end up with a product that we can give to you as a package that is untainted by pre-advertising or preconceptions of what this film is and what this film is not. So, we have people in this film that have never been on screen before. We also have people in the background of the movie itself that have got quite a lot of years of experience, such as stunt coordinating, fight choreography, stunt people, all to help make this realistic, and that's the plan that we have at the moment.
And what we have here, we have an action piece which is Australian made, it's Australian cast, and it's just a phenomenal piece of action work here, which, not to say that Hollywood or Hong Kong can't do that. They do that fantastically. But we've got something quite rare here. It's amazing. And to showcase what Australia's got and what they can do, I mean, there's movie after movie that comes out in Hollywood. Australia is fantastic, but we haven't got a lot of action, and this is where we want to take the Australian industry and the Australian market that way to really showcase what we are and show something unique, a little bit more unique than the rest of the world, if you know what I mean, and show some really good hardcore action.
Well, predominantly Australian films have come up from the ranks of the early 60s. And we shoot things on much tighter budgets than would be done in the mainstream US industry. So we can actually shoot feature films much more economically. Our rates of pay are less than the American standards, but our years of experience are actually just as good as American standards. Many of our performers and behind the camera people have actually got 15, 20 years of experience shooting low budget, medium budget and high budget. And that is a good thing, because it doesn't mean that our hands are tied with not having enough money. We will get in there and do it with or without money. We will make it happen.
I think this one is far more kind of planned out in terms of you know, I guess having Rick on board as well, and being able to knowing what's going to work and what's not going to work, and working within people's limitations. So in that respect, it's kind of pretty well kind of planned out. I mean, there's always going to be some variability. So kind of the way it goes, and that's half the fun. If it was completely choreographed, it would probably seem a little bit too robotic. Yep. So it's great that there's that little bit of flexibility, but it's a pretty tight ship.
This is just a concept at the moment that is going to lead to a saleable product that we can take further, and we can take it further in different ways. The whole idea of not pre-advertising it is so that the distribution is untainted by pre-comments or pre-ideas about this particular film. So we will present a package to you of this film concept for you to do what you feel is right for your market. Your market might be Southeast Asia, your market could be Europe, it could be the US. So, you know, we want to give you a package that you can say, okay, this has no ties, it's got no preconceived ideas about the film in the media. We can do it this way, or we can do it our way. And I think that's something that's not been thought of before. Most people say, no, it's my product, you should do it this way. We're saying, no, you buy this product, you do it your way, and we'll be happy.
From the footage I've seen, it looks real, it looks brutal. There's some great shots, there's some very full-on type of scenes. So yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Nothing like this has been done in Australia before, so may as well start a cult now, right?
The fight genre generally has cult following, there's no doubt about that. But many fighters look at fight films and they say, that's not realistic, you know? That guy didn't get hit like that. So what we're trying to use is innovative camera techniques to make the fights look real and gritty. Fight movies they've evolved over the last maybe 20 years, and they are more gritty than they used to be. But it's still a choreographed dance in most cases, and sometimes you feel that you've been cheated, that that wasn't a real hit, it didn't feel right, you know. We're trying to make the hits feel right, you know, as far as camera technique and post-production sound. So hopefully people will look at this and say, yes, it's a believable fight film.
Look, I think the way Brad's going about it is probably a really good way. People need to see, I guess, the action part of it, what this film is about. And so stitching something together along those lines to see what it's like, how brutal it is, how real it feels, is really, really important. It's kind of bizarre that you're kind of doing the end first, but I think seeing that, people visualising it, will make it a lot easier for them to see the building of the film and see where it can go. So, I mean, I think what he's doing is right. I think it's about stitching together enough kind of material to make it, to get the feel of the film, and then, pitch it to investors. And I mean, this is kind of, it's pretty unique. You cannot see many fighting films in Australia at all, especially of this kind of degree. Yeah, you might see a fighting scene in a TV series or like a small bit, but you're not going to see like a massive chunk and be about fighting. So it's a bold, I guess it's a pretty big project, bold project. But shit, so far so good.
This is the ducks and guts of the shoots. This is really, this would have to be probably one of the most challenging roles that I've ever had in a bloody boot.
Yeah.
You know, because of the energy level in which I've got to get to. At the start, I really felt like I was way out of my comfort zone, and I just sort of found that once I was able to achieve that energy level in which our fearless leader was requiring, I was cool with it. You know, like, give it the second day, oh yeah, pretty cool.
Very, very proud to be part of. You know, most definitely. It's a humbling experience, you know, to do this, and I feel very proud and honoured to be part of it. You know, no doubt.
Brad's a great fucking director because he gets you to where you need to go, and he just doesn't give up. you know, because he can see that you're trying to work there, you're trying to sort of get to where you need to go. He's that sort of guy that he'll just roll the sleeves up, jump in the trench, and, you know, get the shovel and just start shoveling together until you bloody get it. I strongly recommend him.
Absolutely work with him again. He's a great director, and he just knows exactly what he wants, and I find that even in the theatre world that can be quite rare sometimes. Like, I've worked with a lot of directors that are like, you just do it, and then I'll tell you if I like it or not. But Brad's just like, you know, he's got this picture in his head and he's determined to stick to it.
Well, so far it's been really good.
He knows exactly what he wants, which is great.
It makes our job fairly easy in that respect. I mean, he doesn't have an in-depth knowledge of makeup. That's fine.
He knows
what he wants, though. Yeah, he can explain what he wants, and that's fine. He doesn't go changing his mind.
No, which is good.
That's good. He has his vision, and that just...
Yeah, he sticks to it. And
yeah, he does.
It was right, like when we changed Abby's hair, it was the right call easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far it's been pretty easy to work with him.
Yeah.
He's a good director.
He's really good, like he really is hands-on. He's not afraid to just go in there and tell you how it's meant to be. And I like his honesty, like if something's not working, he'll tell you and you'll be able to redo it. Yeah, and he'll put himself there to really show you what you're meant to do instead of just telling you, which is helpful.
I mean, this set here is phenomenal. It's a real gem. So it's really, really good. And yeah, look, it may appear that not a lot is going on at times due to the nature of what is getting shot, but it's always moving. It's always moving, and it's great. I like it. I like it a lot.
The continuity aspect's pretty difficult because we have to get, say,
we have to be pretty strict with the continuity because the time frame isn't over weeks or months or you know, it's over the course of 3 hours, but the shoot so far is over the course of 9 days. So, you know, trying to get it time perfect
and then
everything.
That includes stuff like Tom's got his own bruises. We're going to have to keep them looking the same for the rest of the shoot.
Because it's harder to cover an actual bruise. It's easier to just go with it and make it look like it's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Without knowing what the film was going to be like or about, I thought it might be a bit cheesy, but I can see what they're trying to achieve, and I think it's going to pull together good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the final cut and stuff. So yeah.
And it's going to be big, and it's going to be fucking awesome, and we're going to make a movie. Doesn't really hit you until like you see all this shit come together and you watch the playback of some of the footage on the phones and the cameras and stuff, and you're just like, holy shit, we are making a movie.
Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so you've got a few hits.
Pardon?
You've got a few actual hits in.
Yeah, I did. It seems a bit more natural because I'm used to throwing those punches at the punching bag, so pretty much Murderer was my punching bag.
Yeah.
So it came up pretty natural.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Thank you. So now's the most interesting bit.
Yep.
The eyeball.
Yeah,
cool. The eyeballs are going to be pretty cool.
I mean, we had a good broken nose.
Yeah, the broken
and
nose
lots of
yesterday.
blood sprays and but the eyeball will rip.
It's that little element of you can call it rareness, I guess, something just a little bit different, and the concept of going, I guess, against the grain, if you know what I mean. Like traditionally, and where all movies are now, they're going a certain direction and they are at a certain place. And it's when you take that step backwards or step sideways, you know, and you do that, it's generally more powerful and attracts more attention and generally sticks in people's minds more, and could potentially be that cult classic on that. Because I mean, you look at the core of the movie. There's some really good characters, and obviously the fight sequences are going to be fantastic.
We're using actual pig's eyes for part of it, and what we'll be doing is putting an incision in the back, removing some of the middle, and injecting fake blood into it, so that when she squishes it, it oozes.
Yeah, and it'll ooze even
and
better because eyes are full of this like jelly stuff.
And they're very hard to
mix
pop
together.
and squish, so she
Very
needs
hard to
something
cut
to squish with.
Yeah.
Watch this movie. It's going to be a great, great movie, and you know, it's going to showcase Australian filmmaking even more, and just show the world that not that they didn't know that already, but hey, we can produce one hell of a film.